Ahoy there shipmates, and welcome to Meet the Headliners number 2. We are here on the beach in Brighton with guess who? Yes, Mr. Norman Cook, aka Fatboy Slim. How you doing, Norm?
I'm doing good.
Thank you for having us on your beach.
That's all right. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, how is it down here these days?
It's all right. It's we're still here. We're still gazing fondly at the Isle of Wight and the new wind farm. It's good.
Cool. Well, we're here to talk about you headlining our little sister show to Bestival, Camp Bestival, and your first time to camp.
Yeah, I'm quite severely flummoxed about how I've never done it before. If you think that I have 2 children and I'm of a certain age and my history with you of doing everything else that you've put on, I can't understand why it hasn't happened before.
You are the stereotypical Camp Bestival customer.
I'm your target audience and your target headliner, you would have thought. So yeah, I think it's all to do with dates and possibly not wanting to take my youngest camping. But she's now 6. Yeah, she's now 6, so I think we're confident that she could go under canvas.
And they have invented glamping, of course, since you had her, probably. So.
Well, we've always been partial to a Winnie, but it's not just about the actual the physical comfort. It's more to do with the sort of kind of surroundings. But no, I think I'm now confident enough to take both my children. My eldest will want to go and see bands. My youngest will want to play in whatever facilities you have.
Yes, plenty of.
And the wife's coming. So yeah, it's a
family affair.
It's a family affair, and which is again that's kind of why you did it, for people like us of a certain age to be able to semi-rave with our kids around. Absolutely. And we've only just kind of got hip to the principle of it. You
finally caught on. So yeah, I mean, obviously some of the guys at home will know Camp Bestival well, but yeah, it is a different type of show, and there's 20,000 under 16-year-olds there and 20,000 over 16-year-olds there. How would you describe yourself to a 6-year-old that's waiting to see Fatboy Slim, and they're like, I know Jess Glynn, Fatboy Slim, what's he going to do for me?
Well, to the under 6-year-old, I would say I'm the one who your parents possibly put on every now and then when they're trying to relive their raving days of youth. And the one with the naughty tune, track 4 on his big album that Mummy and Daddy don't like you hearing. Who probably hasn't released a record in your lifetime, but can still rock a party when required as a DJ.
Modest as ever, but I mean, it's
well. The thing is, these days I'm a DJ rather than the producer. I mean, I haven't really. Yeah. My son tells people I'm a DJ. He doesn't say I make records.
Okay.
And I do seldom make records, so I'm more of a DJ. But I'm the one, hopefully, that will get your parents reliving their misspent youth.
Exactly.
With you on their shoulders.
On that note, I did actually bring you a record. I was just trawling through the Brighton flea market on the way down here, and because it's outer space theme at Camp Bestival, so right. I thought. This one might help Norm kick off his set.
Is this your first request for my set?
Well, I mean, I don't want to sort of steer the way that you're going, but it's outer space. People.
It's outer space, right? Well, I'm getting outfit thoughts, if nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, have you thought about that? Have you thought about your set? Will it have maybe a little space tinge to it?
You know what? I haven't thought about it until now, but I'm glad you put that in my head, because between now and then I will think about it.
Think about nothing else apart from space tunes.
Well, it's nice. Well, no, I'd like to get references. One of my most memorable moments was playing Simply the Best at the festival part. Yeah. The one and only time I would ever play that tune in public. So yeah, it's a good excuse to wheel out tunes that normally you wouldn't ever get away with. But if there's a tenuous link to where you are.
Yeah. Well, I'll be watching the decks, and possibly you won't even be playing vinyl. But any vinyl still in your set?
No. There's stuff that's come off vinyl, but I physically don't have the decks to play it.
No. Okay. Camp Bestival 2016. Anyone else on the bill that I know, possibly not you want to see, but we were just talking about another act that is.
There's one very large elephant in our household, which is Tears for Fears. Zoe has gone absolutely gaga about the prospect, literally like salivating, bits coming out of her mouth.
She's a bit of a Kurt Smith fan.
She's a bit of a Kurt Smith fan, and for her, I don't know, it's kind of, is it 19 years since they last played? It feels like a kind of second coming sort of thing to some people. My engineer Simon is the world's biggest Tears for Fears fan. So he's very excited. Yeah, I mean, I've always had a lot of time for them. I will be deliberately staying on Sunday night to see them. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's a momentous moment for a lot of people.
And what about your kids? Because obviously at Camp Bestival it's all about the kids. They're sort of pestering us to take them to go and see Mr. Tumble, or this year we've got like Reggie and Bowley, we've got Jess Glynn. Are your kids kind of musically savvy? Have you sort of said you can't go and see any of that pop rubbish? I just want you to see.
A Little Mix or Katy Perry on?
Sadly not.
No, right. Well, that's my 6-year-old out. She'll probably be in the children's tent. I don't know. My 15-year-old son, the last time I took him to a festival was Glastonbury. But it was a long time ago. It was possibly too young to have taken him, because the only act he wanted to see was Rolf Harris.
Right.
But I think now he'll be more into, he's more into girls and alcohol, and so it could be a different story. But
he'll be knocking on the Winnie door or the glamping tent door at 4 in the morning, going, Dad.
Yeah, or just going AWOL probably. That could be interesting. Yeah, and Nelly, I'm not sure. But she's quite excited about Mr. Tumble.
Yeah, good. Everyone's excited about Mr. Tumble. Everyone is. So I mean, it's amazing coming back here, because it's almost, well, it is kind of 20 years since I first interviewed you. I was not a little at all, a young journalist at a music magazine, and I came down and interviewed you right when you were releasing your first record on Skint. Which is 20 years this year, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. And I think it's 20 years since You Come a Long Way, Baby.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, so
your chemistry
kind
always been. Yeah.
But yeah, so it's a honour to be back here. Are you still kind of when you're doing your sets, are you still playing a lot of those?
There's references, yeah. There's little bits. I wouldn't play any of. I mean, it's not that. It's weird that's probably the easiest question that I find the hardest to answer. Yeah, I reference bits of my career, but my job as a DJ is to play what people want to hear and promote my new album, all my greatest hits. Yeah. But at the same time, you have to balance that with, play the hits. So I just give them little snatches of them.
So it's kind of like a mashup.
It's a mashup, yeah.
Bootleg of your own gear. And I mean, my favourite memory probably of you guys, the whole Skint kind of Big Beach Boutique thing was the little scout hut where Big Beach Boutique originally started, and which was, how many people did that fit in? 250 or?
I think legally it was 300, but we got a few more in.
Yeah, and there was a freezer. It was like a sort of tea shop during the day, or a fish and chip thing, wasn't it? And you used to, at the end of the night, you used to grab bits of frozen cod out of the freezer at the back and start lobbing frozen fish.
It's one of those weird traditions, like at the last night of the proms, everybody wears Union Jack hats and goes like that out of time the music. For some reason, our tradition was to take a piece of frozen battered cod out of the freezer and wave it to the crowd, and then share it with the crowd, and they would throw it back. Forgetting, of course, every week that they soon thaw out.
Yeah, health and safety nightmare.
Yeah.
Glory days, though.
They were glory days.
Yeah. Okay. So, 20 odd years on, which of those records, new or old, is kind of means the most to you?
I think the one that still gets me is Right Here, Right Now, because I don't know why, it's sort of a one size fits all kind of call to arms, and whenever I go to a football game and it's played when the teams come on and something like that, I still actually get goosebumps. Yeah. Which normally your own tunes, you don't, you're either bored with them or sick of always playing one and not the other. It's rare that a tune that you can actually enjoy your own tunes. Yeah. But that one, when I hear it, kind of the Olympics, or I think Man City's come out to it.
Okay.
And
it's not bad, is it? That looking back at your career, you can be like, Man City.
Well, it's quite nice. It's nice that you can make a tune that arouses yourself.
Oh.
For fear of that sounding a bit wrong. Yeah. Because most tunes of mine I don't enjoy, but that one I do.
Okay. But I mean, you said earlier you're kind of DJing more than producing now, and your son refers to you as a producer, not as a DJ, not a producer. Are you kind of thinking, I'll leave it to the KTBs and the Jess Glynns and the Tiny Tempers, or are you thinking there's another album in you?
Sometimes think there's more records in me. Sometimes I think I'm maybe too old and what have I got to offer. But every now and then something like Eat, Sleep, Rave, Repeat comes into my head, and I think actually that is relevant. But it's kind of at this end of my career, it's like I don't feel I have to inflict a record on people unless I've got something, a bee in my bonnet and a fire in my belly, and and that hasn't happened of late. No. Having said that, by the time I do put a record out, it won't be a record. B, it won't be an album. I think by the time I get around to making an album, albums will be completely redundant in the way that music's consumed. So, but I mean, I haven't retired. I'm just having a kind of sabbatical. Yeah. And doing some other stuff, doing film soundtracks and stuff like that.
Okay, what are you doing?
Well, I've just done a thing with Idris Elba.
Oh, cool.
We've written a tune, the theme tune to his new film, with him actually singing on it.
Which of his new films? I went to the cinema the other day and I looked around at the posters and it was like the
Bastille
Jungle
Day.
Book. Okay, Bastille Day,
yeah. And that was great fun, and there's some other film things that I've got in the pipeline. That kind of turns me on.
Cool. So you're well known for playing totally mad, random places, like the beach in Rio. That was one, wasn't it?
It wasn't mad or random. I thought that.
No. Well, an amazing place.
I played stupider places than that.
Okay, I mean, yeah, but it's your thing, isn't it? That every year you want to play at Glastonbury, you want to play in some kind of far out place. I think you played in the House of Commons.
Yeah.
Where next?
I don't know. They kind of. What it is because I've been doing this for 35 years, DJ. It can get a bit stale, but for two things. One is the constant supply of fresh teenagers. So you've always got a new lot of people to impress. So it's not like you're going through the same old cliches. No. But the other thing is, finding new places that DJs can play that they haven't been in before, or just places where the beauty of the surroundings makes it, means that you're not going through the motions. You're like, God, I can't believe we're here, or this is quite surreal. So, but the thing is, I've kind of. Everything that was on my bucket list I've kind of ticked off, but what happens is new ones crop up, like the House of Commons, like the Olympics closing ceremony, Dismal Land last year.
Oh yes.
Well, that was hilarious, because I played on the bar and nobody knew I was playing, so when I started everyone was just sort of ignoring me, and then a few people were like, isn't that? And I was just serving drinks to people and they were going, you really Fatboy Slim? I was like, yeah. And then kind of word got around, and by the end of it, it was kicking off. But being able to serve drinks while you're DJing after all these years, that's kind of refreshing. Yeah. And just going to places that I haven't been before, where the surroundings dictates that it's exciting no matter what happens.
Are you still on the list for outer space?
I famously did sign up for that, or so I thought, but in fact it was Beardy Man doing an impersonation of Branson.
Really?
Yeah, he phoned me up. He phoned me up. It was very, very convincing. Richard Branson and pranked me.
Okay, well maybe at Camp Bestival Outer Space, we'll get you in a rocket and
there's a waiting list,
send you out there.
There's a waiting list, I'll definitely be on it.
Okay, you live by the sea, obviously in Brighton. I live by the sea in the Isle of Wight. Camp Bestival, by the sea. What is it about the Great British seaside that you love?
For me, it's not feeling hemmed in. There's times in your life, especially in my life, where it's like too much noise and everything. Yeah. Well, the thing is, if you live in the middle of a city, then you're sort of surrounded by noise and people. Here, like, no matter what bollocks goes on that way, if it gets too much, I can just turn and go. Yeah. So for me, it's kind of, it's not feeling hemmed in, not being able to park.
Until they built the wind farms there.
Yeah,
Loads of people with their binoculars.
There goes the neighbourhood with the wind farm.
Okay, we've got some semi-amusing quickfire questions for you, Norm. Right. So we'll wrap up with these. So we've got 10 of these. Lasers or glitter cannon?
Glitter cannon.
Favourite smell? That's not really an either or, is it? But
favourite smell, favourite smell, fresh roast coffee.
Favourite planet?
Earth.
Not Uranus?
No, it's Uranus. My daughter informs me.
Rocket or space shuttle?
Rocket. You know, I've never had to think about that one before. I think rocket. Yeah.
Yeah, old school. Football or clubbing?
Whoa. Am I not allowed both?
Curveball. No, I'm afraid it's
that's like,
one or the other.
Having to sacrifice one of your children. Clubbing.
Okay. We know your name.
Because I can do that, I can't play football.
No. We know your name is Cook, but can you cook?
Yes, most definitely.
Good. Did you? It says, did you believe in aliens? Not do you believe in aliens?
I have believed in aliens at times during my life. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've believed a lot of things at certain points in my life. I want to believe. I've yet to see proof.
Okay. Dick or Dom? Big Dick, little Dom.
I'll have Dick.
Bowl of cereal or full English?
Sorry?
Bowl of cereal or full English?
Full English.
And finally, Mr. Norman Cook, headliner glory or secret set shenanigans?
Again, can I not have both?
Maybe if you do it at Camp Bestival for us.
I'll take the secret set.
Okay. There you go, people. Round of applause and 3 cheers for Norman Cook.
And thank you very much for having me at your wonderful festival at last.
See you at Camp Bestival in July.